input about what we can do to develop our Title I program for the following year. So this is the sum of what Title I looks like for the middle of high school this year, and we're required to inform the public on that. So Title I, just about everybody at this day and age has probably heard of it from one source or another. It's been around since 1965. In my day, when I was a kid, it was called Chapter 1. Probably in Miss Kristen's school days, it was the No Child Left Behind Act. Now it is Title I Part A of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act. But Title I are federal funds, they're supplemental funds, and I'll explain what we mean by supplemental in just a second. All states receive Title I funds. In Georgia, over 90% of districts receive Title I funds. But the funds are used to improve academic achievement. And the key, this is kind of some old legislation back from the beginning of the original act. I'll explain what that means in a second. Economically and disadvantaged, how that plays into it. But we use our Title I funds. If you're looking or scanning around this room, you've hit on something that Title I is provided. We do a model that gives us even more benefit. We are able to commingle, for the lack of a better word, all of our federal funds and a percentage of our local tax and state dollars with it, and that gives us more capacity. Our instructional coaches, let me give you an example of what supplemental means. If we didn't have Title I funds, we wouldn't be able to fund, the key word is fund the academic coaches. That doesn't mean we wouldn't have academic coaches. What it means is you can run a school, students can achieve without academic coaches, but the benefit of having the academic coaches and what they can provide for student achievement outweighs not having them at all. It could be if Title I went away. Now this year from Washington, we have about 15 different title programs and grants that we have, and the government almost stripped it down to one, Title I. But all the federal funds have been released. It would be up to a district to decide if they wanted another way to fund academic coaches and things like that. But they provide a supplemental service in the school. Additional, the key word is additional. If we didn't have Title I, we are bound by the dollars that we earn by attendance from the state. And those would be the teachers that we have, okay? But because we have additional federal funds, we have teachers that and paraprofessionals that do supplemental things like interventions, all of our software, maybe just about a tiny little bit isn't, but 99% of all the software that we have in all the schools is purchased with Title I. Because let me ask you, could we teach school without software? Sure we could. Would it be advantageous not to have the software? Probably not, because it reveals too much information. Okay. So you can think about Title I I use an ice cream cone model. So basically, in this area, because we don't have a big factory that gives us, charitable contributions or, foundations that give us money. We, our operating budget here in the county is federal, local, tax base, and state. So, to say which is local and which is state, be hard to say, but here in Miller County, it would be local dollars would be the smallest amount. What we earn from the state, okay? And then, I said that backwards, not the amount of money. Let me rephrase something. Title I, in order to use Title I funds, you have to use your state and local funds first. Because there are things we are required to do, okay? We have to have the teachers that we earn, okay? We have to have textbooks. We have to have a lot of things, whether we have federal dollars or not. It's when we can supplement the school with additional things, we spend those dollars last. So all funds we have to be considered before we use federal dollars. And thank you, I'll slide that. Not only do, and Mr. Jamie and Ms. Kristen will talk about what their school plan is, but not only do we spend those dollars last, the school has to develop an improvement plan that explains how they use their, Title I dollars. All right. There is a component of Title I. It has changed its name so many times since I've been around, parent involvement, but the most common name right now is parent and family engagement. Okay. And we have a policy that's written. We don't distribute that. I'm going to tell you how it's available, but I will give you this caveat before I do. Anything that I'm talking about tonight, or anything that we publish, anything in the old days, we used to mass produce it and send it home. We put information out in multiple sources. Social media, are y'all Remind or Dojo?
Well, now that yes, we do still use Remind, but now that we've got the app, pretty much everything goes out through notifications in that app.
Okay. The parent portal, also in Infinite Campus, sends messages out. So this policy is available at all times, but what the requirements are about this policy is to let parents know that where Title I is concerned, it is not a brainchild of the people that run the school, not 100%. It is jointly developed, and what I mean by that, in the spring and multiple times along the way, when we have different activities or things like that, we get input from parents. Like I said, this is just the informational part of the year, but during the year, we will be seeking input based on the rest of the information you'll hear tonight, about what we can do to improve our Title I program. In the sense that we're working together to do that, we call family and parent engagement. Because when we work together, the goal is to strengthen student achievement. We are required to reserve funds. That was done in the spring. Okay, it'll come up again in the spring, but I will say this. Tonight or any other night along the way, even though this is just an input meeting, we encourage input, ideas at any time during the year. But in our I budget, districts that receive more than $500,000 of Title I funds have to reserve, now this sounds kind of tricky, but I'll say it kind of slow. If you receive more than $500,000 of Title I funds, you have to reserve 1% for family and community engagement use. Of that 1%, you have to spend 99% of it. Okay? Now, we spend far more than 1% of it. We've got a number of projects. Our website, I just went totally wrong.
I have that on the next slide. That
Yes.
1%.
There you go. There you go. Consultation, as I just mentioned, if you're watching our posts, our announcements, we consult with parents all year long. We do it through the activities we provide. Ms. Kristen will be talking about, sometimes we do them on site, just like this, we come in and we meet face to face, but there are all kinds of ways that we interact with parents and consult to improve achievement. What we do want you to know when we plan for activities, our activities that we plan, be it on-site, online, engaging through electronic means, I'll be talking about that in just a second. We actually sit down and we work through a process to make sure that it's meaningful and it comes back and improves achievement for the school. And what we mean by that is called building capacity. So when we take an activity, let's say we're gonna do a math night, okay? And let's say we're gonna open up the building, we're gonna post it online, students are gonna do demonstrations, we're gonna have a speaker come, we're gonna have people in our community come to talk about the skill sets that are important today. We go through and we look at all these different components, these 4 components, and how are we addressing those so that capacity is just another word to say power, or get the best outcome that we can. All right, evaluation and input. Sometimes we ask for input. We ask for a lot of input in the spring, okay? And when we ask for it, we put it out there and we tell you how it's available. It's an electronic world. We're no strangers like everybody else. We do a lot of it, but that's not the only way we do it. As far as tonight, that's why if you put an email or phone number down, if you work here, we can find you. You will be seeing a post in the next couple of days about an evaluation form about this activity. And I will say this, I'm here to tell you, and middle school does a great job of it, when they sit down and they're having leadership meetings and they're reviewing their plans and their goals, that information we get, it does not sit on the shelf. They get it out, they look at it, so your input counts. And this is where Ms. Kristen is going to come in.
So I've got links on this,